everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Code for episode 159 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have our players to hear today. Same as always, we have Kyle, Matt, Katie, Josh, and Greg. Uh, it's been a hot second. Also, I believe happy fifth night of Hanukkah for all who celebrate. I caught you kind of in the middle. I hope you're having a beautiful holiday and that your socks and puzzles have been truly beautiful and thematic. Um, so I haven't been here in a couple weeks, which means my brain is mush, and I'm going to do my damnedest to give you a recap as we jump back into things. Last session, you were all at the biggest bash of the year, wearing the most beautiful outfits covered in magic to amplify them, whether through illusion or mostly illusion, to be fair, but I'm sure there's some beautiful other magical effects made for combat across some of the party guests' outfits. Uh, Beautiful armors and weapons, some for show, some for not. But you all spend your time trying to, in some situations, build your status. Two of you have successfully completed a duel and have come up victorious, whether you were looking for status or not. Nana has been warned, though, that now because she successfully fought in a duel, it is possible somebody could challenge her to a duel, but it's also possible somebody might not see that as a worthwhile event. It would have to be somebody probably of a lower status than Tan who would take up that offer to throw hands. Um, Fen was also recruited by Corrine for a little fun and games at the party, saying that she and her husband have set up a bit of a challenge that she says she is not capable of completing. That he is carrying a pearl in his pocket and needs Fen to try and get the pearl without him noticing, and then she will be victorious in this game. And Fen, who has a much there's nothing to be desired in Fen's addition to his stealth checks, to his sleight of hand checks. They are very good. And he picked Jenny the bird to go in with her +2. And literally, to be fair, to be honest, the nat 20 she rolled is the only reason that bird didn't get punched, as he's like, "Ah," and goes like that. Uh, what the fuck? And go like this. But Jenny was victorious, hopefully, and retrieved this pearl, which you returned to Corrine, uh, your beautiful date, who I use the term loosely because she's so busy during the party that it's hard to spend a lot of time with her because she's the host. Um, but you give her the pearl, and she is very excited for the this new predicament where she has won this this little duel with her husband. Um, Also, other people are probably doing things. I think Nick's tried to hook up some people again and still failed because they can't. He's There's this little gnomish man. He's too nervous. He just can't. Also, Russ is still incredibly toasty, and but was is aware enough to be like, we haven't eaten anything. We have to eat food. So that was kind of his focus before you all went dancing and having a good time. Roshan went and talked to Alyona, who for 45 minutes had been staring into the dancing area. And that is where Roshan comes face to face with her god, Chernabog, who has come down to this party in a form suitable for this party. And Alyona seems transfixed in the fact that she is standing so close to a god and holding their hand and dancing with them, as if not given that luxury with the god she worshipped prior. And comes out of that weeping and maybe feeling good, unclear. But encounter with a god, very fun for her. Um, a lot of people dance and drink and have a good time. Roshan also goes and talks to Russ's handler and informs her that that Jinli Very, very pleasant woman, has been probably giving people money to challenge Russ to duels, to absolutely rock his shit. And Roshan asks her for help, and she says, I'll do my best. He notices like a couple weird ticks, movements about her, does not pry further, and is like, "Thank you for just saying you'll do something nice. Goodbye," and they quickly leave that before it could be anything. This is good. This is where I cut it off. Mission accomplished. Um, Nyx also talks with Russ, who asks her to not let the party change her. That these 3 days should not ruin her, that she needs to remain afloat, like stagnant in this place. You cannot be swayed one way or the other. And during this, she says she will, and also says that she plans to challenge the lizard man that fought against Russ to combat, to which he says, I'd prefer you didn't, uh, if I had a choice. And they come to the agreement that it seems they may be drawing up paperwork for, that if he is challenged to 6 combats and then challenged or is about to be challenged by a member of Jin Lee's crew, Nyx can step in and he will allow her to be his second. And I'm sure some beautiful other things happened, but those are gone and I care not for. They're gone from my brain. But either way, nonetheless, the second night of the party comes to an end. I can only say on a high. Like Russ had a terrible time, but you won your fights. You have allies. And how could I forget? You owe Calendula a boon, which you have one night to figure out. And by tomorrow night, Roshan also said he would tell Elyona what his wish was. Those are the other things. That's all the stuff. Those are the other 2 important things. Um, and Calendula also said Nick should consider like medicine to even out her emotions, and that if she's interested, she could come by the shop after the party. But nonetheless, we pick off at the end of this night. As all of you begin to make your way out of the party, I kind of assume there's, and this is how it's going to be for me, unless somebody's like, I run away, is that all of you kind of like point each other out and are like, all right, let's go, and roll out kind of as a unit. Like, it's like, you good? You're done?
Yeah.
Okay. And you all sort of move, at least in the same time frame, out of the party. Nyx, while you and Russ are walking to the exit, he stops and like looks back inwards.
Oh, do I see his handler? Is she talking to you?
Roll a perception check.
Wow. Okay. 28.
I couldn't tell because you usually roll so well. I thought that was like a 5.
No, that was last week when I got 3 ones.
Nice. You got to get him out of your system.
Yeah, no,
but
it's true.
You do see his handler, but it is not at a like normal talking distance. She is still back more towards the main area of the party. It seems Russ caught her out of the side of his vision and stopped. She is talking to Jin Lee.
Should we go check what that is? Or wait.
I was personally planning on. I'm not going to leave until she's done, but I'm going to stay right here for.
Yeah,
for a minute.
We can wait.
Okay. And he's going to just set up shop. And watch her.
Hey, we will stand there. That's fine.
I think if Nana catches sight of like Russ and Nyx first making their way out of the party, then also stopping and then staying, I think Nana will kind of stay in orbit. Probably come over to just sort of hang out, chat.
Yeah, we can be that group that stands right in front of the doorway.
Yeah, you guys do that. You guys kind of make a clump in front of the exit.
You guys don't have to
walk
wait.
in the grass to get around you. They're a little upset.
You all have to walk the whole. You should start. Maybe we'll get there at the same time this way.
Is everything all right?
Yeah.
Uh, we're just waiting to see his handler, make sure everything's good.
I'm guessing like it's a little easy to see where like Russ's eyes are trained. Can Nana like clock that and kind of
Oh,
like
his big
do a
crazy
subtle
eyes?
glance?
Yeah, I think you can follow where he's looking.
Okay. And I would assume see her speaking
Yes.
with Jinli.
You got the details. You
Got
can.
it.
This is not
I
something
am
hidden.
caught up.
Are we curious at all about what's being said?
Sure, tell me if it's important.
Yeah,
Okay.
All
we
right.
don't need to know the specifics.
But you need to wait on her before you leave, I would assume.
I don't have to. I'm going to though.
Okay. Sure.
You can see that he seems to, throughout the last few hours of the party, you can see his pupils again. There's still
That's
the
nice.
occasional like twitch and like he still seems a little scattered,
Mm-hmm.
but he is not on the verge of collapse, or he does not look as dire as he did, but he does not look back to baseline, as
Yeah.
he just keeps his eyes trained across the courtyard, and he
can't imagine
kind
the
of
calm
looks
down is
confused. Like he just
Hmm.
seems kind of confused about what's going on, but he's watching intently.
Okay.
Aren't we
Well-
all?
Is there anything any of us could do for you before we go? Are you sure?
I'm fine. I just want to lay down, or
Mm-hmm.
that sounds hard too. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm good. Just
So we'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Well,
It shouldn't
you
be
know where
that
to
long.
find us, and honestly, the two of you will probably outpace us before very long. So, we'll see you. Okay.
Hmm.
Take care. Nana will make her way kind of towards the door, try not to like crowd up on Russ and Nyx, out of respect for the two of them, kind of like head bob to Fen to kind of like be like, come on, pull back.
okay.
Then we'll accompany the larger portion of the group then.
I'll pat Nixon, Russ on the shoulder as I go by.
Oh,
'cause
wait,
I
I'm
got
not-
the reach.
Just
Mhm.
stop. You can't go to bed. If you get there before us, we need you when I get there because we have to sign a thing. So you have to be awake. That's all. It's
I'll wait
important.
up.
God.
Killed the notary.
Yeah, you have to be there to make sure that someone else knows the deal. That's all.
Paladin
Got it.
killed.
I will
Notary
know the
public.
deal.
I mean, it does not take like the thing is also Nyx and Russ do not travel with you guys to go home. So
Right,
it's not
like, they
too
have-
weird
they
to be
have a
like, and goodbye.
chariot.
We have to walk.
Yeah, we do have a
Um,
ways to go, and they will be taking a cart, and we will not. So that's fine.
But you guys are welcome to wait for them as long as you want, or start going. That's up to you. I just want to know the consensus.
Fen's gonna get
We're
his
moving.
stuff from coat check and go wait outside.
Roshan would like to leave.
Yeah. I think Nana will maybe like check to see whether or not Tan seems to be like in need of another like.
I mean, you
help
fully
you.
lost Tan. Tan is gone to
all
you at this point. You have no idea where she
gonzo.
is.
Okay, I mean like. It's probably fine. I can't imagine that anybody else is going to challenge her tonight. Not at this hour. Right? Yeah, it's
All
probably
right,
fine.
hands up if you are heading back to the inn, because I feel like I've gained no thinking. Okay, perfect. I was just like, I can't tell
So sorry.
what's happening. But that works. All of you begin making your way back towards the inn, walking through cold, snowy streets. And it only takes a few blocks for the kind of the beautiful, quiet energy of this portion of the city to turn to seeing homeless people huddled against buildings and in shacks they have set up to be safe from a lot of the elements. You see an older homeless man who has just kind of like curled in on himself with a blanket, and like that's the setup for the night. Yes.
Um, each of the homeless folks that Nana passes by, any of her remaining good berries that she's got for tonight, she'll go ahead and like pass them like one to each. It'll fill your belly for a day. So I hope it helps. It's not tasty, but it'll keep you moving.
Roll persuasion for me, just because
Mhm.
most people don't have the concept of a good berry, and if you hand somebody a berry, it's kind of like, thanks, a berry, thanks.
Sure. 2 seconds here. Max Smooth Brain. What that number do? That number do. You know what? I haven't used it yet today. So I'm going to spend my commanding presence and add a d6 to that roll.
Sure.
Okay. That's 16.
You don't know how exactly it's being received per se, but people are accepting them from you, and there's a variety of murmured responses, but none of them negative sounding to you.
All right. I don't have many, but help yourselves, and I hope it helps. Be well.
And all of you in your outfits that could have paid for a home make your way back towards the inn, and eventually back at the party, you see Russ's handler kind of give I don't want to say a low bow, but like a polite bow towards Jinli, ending the conversation, and then begins to make her way towards you and Russ when she notices you, and kind of makes her way over and will kind of fall into step with both of you, because it seems like she does not stop, and Russ just kind of moves into
Yep.
step to
Let's
walk
go.
with her. And you can see Russ like trying to like look at her and focus while he walks, which seems to be difficult for him at this moment. Maybe it's difficult for him at all moments. We don't really know. Uh, to, to walk and try to mental chat at the same time, but you get the look on his face of they're talking.
Yeah.
And he kind of murmurs some of the conversation to you, Nyx. Right, she said it went as well as it probably could. I didn't know they were going to talk to each other, but she says that Jinli has said that she won't interfere directly with our business any longer, but that she can't help what people who are already possibly incentivized do.
Okay.
And he like turns his focus back in. Thank you. I appreciate that. You don't. All right. She also says she's going to bring me something to help if I am going to be involved in multiple combats.
Thank you. Yeah. So she paid a lot of people then. Okay. But I might have to revise the deal to just be at a certain point. I take the next one. Doesn't have to be the lizard.
Right. Maybe we can talk about it. Maybe we still stick to 6, because that seems to be like a hot spot for me not dying is 6. I honestly think I could have done one more, and then maybe if there was another one after that, it would have been probably bad after that. But I probably could have done one more, and my body could have taken it.
Maybe we can cut it down to 5.
We'll talk about it.
We
Maybe we'll arm
can't. We'll
wrestle
do
for
it.
it.
Keld thinks like make him decide
Mm.
between
No, it's
5
going to be
reasons.
like 2. Kel doesn't get an opinion on this.
Well,
It's only gonna be
we could give him
2.
a threshold of like minimum 4. You
The number
prefer
keeps
6.
going down. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll
Mm.
figure out our contract. He looks over to his handler. We're making a contract. I'm just giving you the heads up that after a number of combats, I may be allowing somebody to second
Me
for me.
specifically. Yeah.
Specifically her.
Mm.
Honestly, like, to be fair, it'd probably be you or Keld if I had to pick someone to stand in and, hold the beacon.
Yeah.
Roshan takes the beacon, immediately falls to the ground.
Jesus.
Why not me?
No, he would
Nana
just
Received
breaks the
beacon
beacon.
becomes top heavy.
they just
Why
throw
does-
the beacon in and run.
Yeah, it goes half a foot. Uh,
Yeet.
but you can see while you're walking with her, you do notice this like shoulder movement occasionally, like a drum beat, just like boom, boom, just like little jerks of the shoulders, but like they're sporadic, and that's all just like little movements. And Russ walks alongside her, and then all of you are outside that first hit of cold air. And while you step out, she raises her arms, and it's kind of like materializing in the space. Her outfit is then covered with a nice jacket to protect her from the cold.
Oh, that's nice. Just put my cloak back on from the coat check.
Yeah. As you're going, she kind of like looks over, and you see that she like looks around outside for a moment, and her eyes never settle on anything. And then they come back to you, and you hear a voice in your head. Would you show me your arm? I want to check on it.
Yeah. I'll take that glove back off and show her. Hasn't
And that
changed.
voice kind of lingering in your head. I'd be careful. You can see. And she like motions. She does not touch you. She motions to your arm, and you look closer at the band, and you can see that like these very pristine lines that were there originally look ever so slightly frayed at the edges. It's almost like the difference between a fresh tattoo and an older tattoo, as if it began to bleed a little bit, as if it could not hold itself in place as steadily. So she gives you a be careful.
Got it. Okay. Maybe I do need to get that medicine.
Listen, I'm a full fan of medicine, physical, mental. You know, the amount of therapy I had to take to also get to that opinion was wild, but I'm on board now.
Not able to get because the store's not open until the day after the party.
It's only one more day for us to stay level-headed.
That's be fine.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, nothing's gonna happen.
You know that I can take 8 fights.
You're not taking 8 fights. I will go challenge the person as they walk up myself if you try to do 8 fights.
And then I'll say no. And
You
he
can't
kind of
say no
smiles.
if I already challenged them.
That's actually very true. You got me there.
Probably also going to be in the contract. So
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of smiles a little bit and looks towards his handler. Thank you. I appreciate it. If there's anything you need, if he needs anything from me, just
Right.
tell me. And goes and gives her a hug. And this man looks like he fucked up. Like immediately like steps back. Sorry, apologies. Force a habit. And she kind of nods and gives you a nod as well, Nyx. And then she begins to make her way. Seeing you guys start to go in a direction, she goes in the opposite direction.
Mm.
It's like she waits for you guys to like kind of indicate where you're going before she starts walking.
The cart is
exact
this
opposite
way.
Cart here. And she's like, all right, bye. And fully goes the opposite way.
That's fair. Did
Nix,
she-
what's your passive perception? And then you can continue what you were
passive
doing.
perception 20.
Yeah, I knew it was something wild.
Yeah. It
Does
is.
she notice the bomb strapped to the bottom of the cart?
Oh God.
Yeah, good question.
Wow.
Um.
A gift from Eagle. Aw.
Oh
Nope, I
my
don't
god.
think you, sorry, you don't see anything. Um,
Josh, I couldn't
Perfectly
hear what you
normal
said. I bet it was cute though.
okay. Yeah, Nix, what were you saying?
I was gonna ask him, did she give you any updates on him, or did you still want to scry on him when we get back?
She didn't have any updates, but once again, I feel like if there was something wrong, she would have.
Okay.
She would say something, but maybe. Well, we'll see. We'll see when we get to the inn.
Okay. Sounds good. If not,
And
maybe Roshan
Mhm.
can give you a message. So that might be a little easier.
sure. Yeah, we'll see.
He
We'll see
owes
what's going
you
on.
a kiss anyway, so we gotta bother him.
Does he?
Yeah, because you fought all those people for us.
Oh. Well, lucky day for me. And pep in his step, escorts you to the cart and helps you up. And I will say, if there is nothing else for this immediate moment, all of you would probably arrive at a similar time. And I will just kind of throw you all at the inn, and you are all there as a team.
Wow.
We've all been thrown out of our Pokeballs. We've all said our names.
Yeah, everybody is here. We are in battle. Roll initiative.
Oh, God!
Got it. Do I get to use
I
the
was
cart
picturing
as a
something.
weapon? And
Of course. But you all arrive
Incredible.
at the inn. Russ is like, I have to get out of this armor. And he's gonna immediately head up to just take his armor off.
Nana's gotta get
think-
out of this onesie.
Time
take
to
a
get
leak.
comfy.
Before Roshan lets the group split, he
Yeah.
says, I need a favor from you all tonight. We need to come up with a good idea of how we can repay a certain alchemist, Calendula. And I would like you all to brainstorm that and tell me in the morning.
Was
What?
Nana there for that conversation? I'm trying to remember.
No.
I don't think she was.
But you all were certainly there for the thievery.
Yes, we were there for the thievery. Nana's not aware that Calendula is aware of the thievery's cause.
And now
By
she
way of-
is.
And now here we are. So he knows.
Well, Roshan, as far as Calendula goes, I have so few fucks to share, but it seems like he has a lot of fucks and he can use them all on himself.
Okay, but they can also get us arrested.
for
So
breaking and
we kinda
entering
owe
and
them.
destroying records of patients.
We did.
yeah, so just let me know in the morning. I need to do some research and some soul searching. And then Roshan will cryptically turn around and
Do you,
go upstairs.
Oh,
that
okay.
sounds all right. Do you want enhanced
Privacy would be
ability or
great,
something?
thanks.
All right.
Keld's already written it off as normal Roshan behavior.
Hmm.
Yeah, nothing weird about what just happened.
Yeah.
That's
I know
true.
you
Not
haven't seen
sure about
Roshan in a
that.
couple weeks, but but you
Alright.
the information that, hey, my plate, she's full. Your
Ooh.
plate now has this on it. Thank you.
Congrats.
Have some slop.
And then Roshan bowed and left.
Before Roshan gets all the way
Roshan
away,
really
Nana-
trying real hard to get up
I
these stairs.
understand.
Like,
I understand.
uh-huh.
I want to give you only one warning. I may ask for you to put one thing into the ring. I need to decide what. before tomorrow so that you won't have to spend the energy tomorrow after the rest, okay?
Okay. Yeah, just do that in the next 45 minutes.
I can do that.
Great.
Nix, I might need some advice.
Okay. Sure. What for what?
I'm
We're all
not
here.
certain. Well, I'm not certain whether or not I'm going to be challenged to fight tomorrow. I might be, I might not be. I don't think I've got a compelling reason to seek out another duel, unless you all feel like we could use another boost to our clout, but gods only know Russ has been winning plenty and enough to give us at least, I think, a little shine. Maybe not a boost entirely, but
What we need to decide on is what we plan to use clout to accomplish. We need to. We're
That's
supposed to be here doing something, not just becoming popular, but earning popularity and
So-
goodwill to turn towards accomplishing a goal. And
right. You
these
said
people may
yourself we've
disperse.
yes. You said yourself we've already got at least one good connection. I've got Tanrai's daughter. She makes machines, which are good for agriculture and for war, which could be of use to our homes, our families. That's a solid connection, Fen. That's not nothing. And you pointed that out
Well,
so quick.
it's a lot of work and a lot of risk to ourselves personally. Time spent preparing gold from our treasury to prepare for one person to aid us in our corner.
It's
The
one
gold we
thing.
spent preparing for this might as well have been spent just towards buying her favor towards us.
I
We
don't think
potentially got the help of Thor.
yeah,
Mm.
and that Russ's boss is giving us a favor for free.
these are soft resources, Fen. These are not pieces of gold in a treasury. These are not spears. These are not arrows. These are favors owed. These are points remembered favorably. These are impressions which just happen to clear standard. And it's grueling to thread that needle. Ave did it insanely well. I never found the knack, but nonetheless, we must do what we can, and we must curry as much favor as we can. If we have no material use for any of these favors or any of this goodwill now, if we bank it now, we can use it later.
Just as long as all this goodwill is remembered when the time comes.
Do you think Kareen will remember well your favor curried by your service at this party? Is that not a good connection?
I trust her implicitly.
All right then.
Okay, but that's not what we need to figure out right this second. You need to figure out
I
something.
was wanting to know. So, I don't think that it's wise for me to reach out and call for another duel, unless Tan feels it especially necessary, but she didn't seem to think so. She does seem to think it is possible that someone will come to duel me of their own volition now I am on the map. It's not a guarantee, but it's a possibility, and I want to be prepared, and I want to allow the other party to make their move, but I didn't see anybody eyeballing me in particular. I wasn't trying to be overtly observant in that way, but
Do you suppose that your employer is going to ask you to demonstrate another piece of merchandise?
it doesn't seem likely. I don't know that for a fact, but it seems like this was the big showcase piece for this year. This grabbing machine, these arms of enfolding, enveloping. One of the two. I've been drinking. But those things are certainly effective. If I had some way to make them a little more effective for me, that would be grand. But if nothing else, I want to know if it's worthwhile for me to go for something more soft resource, or if I should go for firepower right out of the gate. I mean, soft
Right.
resources would be smarter spent if I knew what.
If only,
Hmm.
man. I bet if
Hmm.
only. But while that's happening, Roshan, I will say, while you are heading upstairs at your rapid pace, you're like, yeah, okay, bye. You can hear the sounds coming from Russ and Nix's room, the clang of armor hitting the ground, and the sounds of somebody like straining and cursing a little bit under their breath as you make your way upstairs.
I think Roshan will just laugh to himself. He's never put on a suit of heavy armor, and I don't know that he ever wants to. And I think he'll get up to the bedroom or the in room and sit and process the night and come up with a game plan and give himself until Nana asks for anything to execute.
So I'm gonna need you guys to just like stare at Mac's unblinking or at Nana's unblinking face and like walk away from her. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
She'll find you. Is there anything else anybody maybe wanted to do at this juncture?
Fen wants to go to the room and use 3 spell slots to just chat with Jenny. Jenna,
Sure.
take
She's a brat. She's
yeah.
she's content to talk. But she is a brat, and you notice at some point she actually just like stops and like waits. And so Nix, what would you like to do?
That
Yeah.
Ooh.
it's
It's
true.
a curse.
If I focus on anybody, they have to go. It's too much power.
It's how it works.
Wow. Nana just standing in the inn.
Just like idle dancing in the corner, just like.
But
So-
Fen went up and is talking with Jenny. So you've lost Fen from this convo.
Cool.
Fen's
That's
like,
probably for the
Nana's
best because
gone.
Nana's got some
Me.
feelings to. Yeah, he'll talk about, I guess.
But Nix and anybody else, is there anything you wanted to do as you stand, I guess, in the main area and talk about all these things?
I thought we
anything
were in
else?
the room, but that's fine. It's cool.
You guys all just said to me, and then we go up to the room. It's presenting like you guys are not in the room yet. So that's
Noted.
fine.
I'm sort
Oh,
of
well, that's
taking
fine.
cue from Nyx, but I will
Yeah.
just sort of keep an eye out
Well,
for.
I'm following
doors.
Nana because she wants advice about something, but you haven't asked what you actually want advice on. So,
Okay, so specifically, I want to know what sort of spell do you think is going to be the most useful for me to put into the ring tomorrow? I felt like
Okay.
Wither and Bloom was useful. I thought it helped some. I'm not sure though. These are fighters who are, like Russ said, dedicated to, trained in fighting one-on-one. They're specialized for this. They can dish out a lot in one go.
yes.
And I've been watching that happen, and I've experienced it now for myself. I'm
So,
wondering if I need something. I don't know. I might have to step it up.
you don't know who you're going to face, so that makes that
Exactly.
kind of hard. Like,
I know.
I wouldn't say we should fill it with heat metal anymore because you don't know if they're going to be wearing metal.
If it's a druid, I'm fucked.
Exactly. And
So
so something with either you get to heal or you can directly damage them would probably be better.
one or the other.
Or
think
the
not.
Wither and Bloom does both.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can have a mix. It's just it's kind of however you want to play it. Like if you think you're gonna need to have something to heal you,
I mean, I'm gonna have some good berries. I'm gonna make some for myself.
okay, but that does one.
It does, but it could be make or break in a very dire situation.
Yeah.
I use my action to get 1 hit point back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My one action of the
Mhm.
whole turn.
I might need to go
Fill me
shopping for
now.
some. I might need to go shopping for some potions.
You can't use them during the thing.
Can't use potions in
That's
combat.
true.
Only
Oh,
beforehand.
God. Of course, that's right. Okay. Oh, you know what?
So, like, you don't want my thing that does a lot of damage. You could ask Roshan for something that he has that does a lot of damage. Or
I mean, the both of you are very capable of dealing an awful lot. I'm just wondering.
you don't like my type of damage, of how I can hurt people. Do you want to use blight on someone?
It's not my favorite option, if I'm being very honest. If
Okay.
I'm being very honest, I feel like Fireball might be a little more my speed, as terrible as that sounds.
Then maybe you could ask him for Fireball, and then as soon as you walk in, you use it when they're not right next to you.
Actually,
So you don't go up in flames.
and you know, if I were to enhance my speed a little bit before I started, I might be able to cinch the first hit. Being able to move first in these things has been a privilege.
Don't put it in the ring yet. We gotta see if Russ wants to scry on his boss first.
Of course. And Nana will take the ring off, put it in Nyx's
Right.
hand, close her hand around it.
Well,
Of
I
course,
won't
I
be able to
understand.
put Fireball in this. That would be Roshan. But
Right. Well, I know, but you might need it for Russ. Go ahead
Right.
and have it in case you need it, and then later, when you're done,
okay.
then I'll come by and ask
Right.
Roshan to pop Fireball in there.
Great. And then do we also need to figure out this Calendula thing? I really don't see a way to help him other than just to give him the one thing that we know that he wants, which is a date with Torment.
How do we do that?
Convince him. I don't know. Talk to the guy. He seems nice enough. We walked together for a while.
If anyone could do that, I think you
Yes.
could.
I don't know. I tried a lot yesterday and today, and it didn't go well with these other two people.
Oh.
Well, I don't know.
That's
can
all I
think is
have.
Offer him a favor, which could be anything, so there's no telling what that would get us into.
Yeah, I think that's just him choosing what he wants. Oh,
I
not giving him a
sincerely
thing.
doubt Roshan would want to waste his wish on wishing that Torment would fall madly in love with Calendula in order to pay off this thing. He has a wish, apparently, which is
These are
news to
more
me.
pressing
but
things.
Okay. So yeah, I'll think about that. But that's my only suggestion. If you guys have other ones, great. Kyle, we need to go write up this contract.
Yeah, you guys do have
Okay.
a lot to do. At some point, when we have an opportunity to speak, you two and Roshan and myself, I'd like to just have a quick chat when we have a chance.
Probably tomorrow, since he doesn't want to talk to us tonight.
That's true. He's gonna be pissed about Fireball as it is, but I will beg his indulgence.
Knock, 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 Roshan. Knock.
And then we all show up.
He's our
So-
spell daddy. We can't help it.
That's true. So you guys are going up to your room to go draw up a contract with Russ.
Yes. And see if he wants to
Guys.
scry on his boss.
Yep.
Important business.
Okay, so Keld and Nyx, you head up to go back to the room. Russ is currently like, honestly, it's pretty much like ass over tea kettle. It's just like
Oh,
on the
no.
ground,
Okay.
legs pulled up, like trying to get the strap off
Okay.
like the back of the calf armor.
Oh,
we
buddy.
gotcha. Hold on.
Let's free him from his
No.
show.
Oh, no.
You guys help get him out of his full plate, which he was trying to get off by himself. He was almost there, but it was taking a long time. But he kind of sits down on the bed and then stands up and then kind of starts like pacing the room. He seems to be unsure whether he wants to relax or move. So he's still
Valid.
kind of in this
Makes
strange place of,
sense.
I don't know what to do with my body.
Okay, we'll check first. Do you think you want to check on your boss for scrying? Or can I give this ring back to Nana?
If it doesn't use up any of your resources, then like it doesn't blow up the ring or something or make it unusable.
Nope. It does not.
Sure, I guess. Yeah. That'd be nice.
Okay, great. I will put that into the ring for him. And then, all right, we need the pot. Set him up. So you just have to focus on him. You know him really well, so I think it will probably work.
What's the minus this guy's gonna get to his roll?
Oh gosh.
Because he knows him well.
Yeah, let's see. Familiar, so -5. And
Mm-hmm.
does he have any possession of this man?
I'm not gonna see, the thing is everything Russ owns at some point this man probably got for him,
So no.
but I am not gonna call that his belongings.
Does it carry around a picture of his dad?
It's right here. My dad, I mean my boss, I mean I have to go.
Just the -5. So you need a 25 to not be scryed on, boss.
25 to not be scryed upon.
Yeah,
Let's go,
bossy.
team. Russ is presented with the container of water, and you watch him go and takes this like really deep breath. He's seen you scry before.
Oh, you don't have to
He
put your
thinks he has
full
to do
face
it the
in.
same
No,
way.
no, no.
He puts his full face in. He's going to try and now do that for 10 minutes.
We keep a close eye on him. Just
So
like
like death saving throws that
just
he can't
start.
stabilize.
I'll
on.
just well, I could do shape water to get some of it out as he's
Yeah.
in there, so he's
Yeah,
not
but
fully
at
in
this
it.
moment he seems like he's like, all right, whole face in, and he puts his whole face in. He's
Great, love him.
so that's going to be his next 10 minutes is that, and I actually want him to roll for it. A human being could hold their breath for that long. Special human beings, but human beings nonetheless. Let's roll a Constitution saving throw, please. I'm just curious. He goes for about it's about 6 minutes in
Hmm.
before he like kind of tilts his head up like so that his mouth is visible, inhales again, and then like puts his head back in. But it was 6 minutes of this like guy just like submerged.
Great.
But time passes and eventually he like kind of like sits up, like, you know, throw wet hair back like in a shampoo commercial, and coughs a little. All right.
Okay.
No one's dead.
Right. Next, you don't have to put your whole face in next. I just do that because I can breathe in water.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I feel like it made me like focus on the spell because I don't really throw
May-
spells around. So it was kind of a way to really focus in on that.
I see the. It's really strong. I don't think you would have to focus that hard because he would have had a hard time not being spied on.
Well,
But
doesn't look hurt.
okay,
Doesn't
good.
seem distressed.
Great. Nana, here's your ring.
Her
Oh,
ring
y'all,
is like
you know.
held out the door.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do you two need anything?
Is there paper in here?
Somebody'd probably have to get some parchment out of their
Oh.
bag.
Nana's
Yeah.
got some, I'm sure.
Okay. Keld, you're doing the writing.
Okay.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
We're
I'll
making a
find some
deal.
Parchment. What it-
I would
What's
say
the deal?
across 5 people, there's got to be parchment somewhere in this party.
Somebody's got some. I'm positive Nana's got some.
People have it. It's
Ben has
exists.
writing utensils. Does he
A rope
have?
lassoes Roshan's bag and just slowly pulls it towards the door.
We got magic paper. I know that much.
Just
I've got the blank letter for Jericho that'll go zip itself off to
So
Jericho.
you make the contract, it flies straight for Jericho.
Oops.
He's like, what?
Oh,
What?
fuck.
who's people?
Can only fight 6 people? Okay. What does it mean?
Yeah, Fenn's got 10 sheets of paper, so if somebody comes and bothers him,
Great.
Fen has paper.
We need it.
I am not going to stress the party about finding a piece of paper. It's doable.
Pretty sure we have a
whether you take
magical
it from
writing
someone or
utensil
not.
too, but who
Well,
knows?
that-
who's
that
told
belongs
about
to
it.
Roshan has
Roshan.
that. Roshan
Mhm.
has not shared that. You guys, I believe, know it exists, but has not shared it.
Yeah, it's his.
There was a moment where, like, he even had to pull out something to write on something for somebody else, and was like, "And I don't use the magic one." Sucks to suck. You were presented with this piece of paper, right? I've never written a dictated a contract
Me
before.
either. You put what you think is right, Keld. So the
It's like
deal.
I've never written.
Yeah.
Keld's like, at least it's my dominant hand that I still got, so that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It's
So
great.
this isn't hard.
So
This is totally not hard.
what's the number of people we're going with?
Well, today 6 was fine. I think 6 should be the number.
I think it should be lower
It
by
seemed a bit
1.
much.
We go
The
with
thing is,
5 people.
it looked like a lot. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That was bad. I had a bad time. I could do that number again without issue to my body. My body can handle strain like that. Now, more than that, we have a problem, but I can handle that amount, and I feel confident in that.
Kelt looks between the two of them.
Okay. But as soon as you hit 6, if I see someone approaching, that's for me.
Right.
7 and above, but are between me and then maybe Keld, you can help too.
All right.
6. Unless
I would.
are you gonna fight
I
Thor
would-
again? Because maybe then you can't.
I don't think I'm
Um,
planning to, but Chris
I-
seemed upset.
Could I make an amendment to the wording?
Depends on the
Maybe.
words.
No, listen. I don't have the pen. You guys can decide what goes on the paper.
Mhm.
I would. I don't know if I'd prefer it if they challenged me and you stepped in as my second, or if you went in and challenged them first, because I feel like the first has more possibility for error. But I we can leave that to the moment, I suppose, because I don't know what would be best with the moment if we get to that again.
Right.
But I want that to be something to keep in mind, whether it is best to wait to step in as my second or to challenge somebody before they challenge me. Because you could be wrong. Somebody could just be approaching me and then you challenge them
true.
to combat. But, you know, if they're like twisting knives around and going, hey, here I come, like, you know,
Right. That's fair. As long as you stick to it. And you promise that after 6 that you'll let me step in.
sure, after 6.
Okay.
Would I make some addendums? I would like, listen, I know you are a talented fighter. I
Mhm.
myself would hate to be in the ring with you.
I know.
I would,
But
I know more people at this party. I know what they are capable of. If I think somebody is not a good fit, like it is a no-win scenario for you, which I don't think is many people,
Okay.
I want you to allow me this one freebie. And I'll step in and I'll tell you. But I'd like the chance for one freebie.
Well, then I feel like I should get one that's earlier within the number.
See, I don't. But you don't know any of them.
So,
So you don't know if they are a challenge for what if they can pick up what I put down.
well, you could like give me a signal that like this one could be mine. Like if it's somebody wearing a lot of armor, like if it's like the lizard, I could beat the lizard, right? So if it's someone that's like that, you'd be like that one's yours. If it's before the 6 person mark, that way you can have a freebie one later, right?
We won't write those down on the thing. We'll keep those in mind and we'll just hold each other to those possibly because they don't seem to be very concrete on either side.
All right, because I don't think you should get a freebie if I don't have an earlier one. Because then you'd have
writes
7 in a
all
row.
of that in parentheses.
Because you can't have 7 in a row.
Well, I could do 7. I just can't do 8.
Nope.
I'm just saying what my body can physically take. I am built different, Nyx. Perceive. And he just does like a little spin.
I can see it, but
I understand and I will agree to the terms on the paper.
okay. Great. I have to get all this stuff. I have to borrow armor because my armor is not as good as some of the ones we have.
Are you able to wear full plate?
Mm-hmm.
And he picks up the pen and he does this very fancy, like, this man has written this signature so many times, like it like is ingrained into his bones kind of signature. And it's a beautiful signature of his name.
It's pretty fancy. No, I can't.
I only can do that. Can't do any other words.
I don't write very often either.
I can't cursive any other words besides my name. I can, but you know, why would I?
Yeah, I'll sign it. So I can't do full. That's a lot. That's too heavy. That's a lot. But like lower than that, yeah. But Nana has
So
this
like
favorite
chain or something.
A what? The
Could you wear
chains?
chainmail?
I could do that. There's some of that in the bag, but that did belong to somebody that we killed. So I don't know.
Finders keepers, I suppose, on that one.
But if I'd be wearing it over the dress, like Nana has this one that's magic and you can make it look like whatever, so it would look like it went with it.
Sure.
Or
It's hard for me to tell you. He picks up the container that was for Scrag and he like sips from it.
yeah, that's fair. Put some ice cubes in it, freeze little bits of the water.
Ooh.
But
I
I think the chainmail is stronger, so maybe we could just go with it. Would look kind of silly, but
But you'd only put it on for the combat because you could chicken in at the door.
that's true. I'll have to get that out of the bag.
All right.
Bring that with.
It would also be shocking if that many people challenged me again. Like, be wild.
So we should make the number lower.
No. See, we should just be optimistic.
Hmm.
But if not, more trophies for me. I don't know what to say.
All right. I also want to say, if those people don't listen, Jinli's friends, and they start approaching like they're gonna fight you, I'm fighting them specifically.
Yeah, but not before 6.
No. The lizard's mine. If they come again, I'm fighting that lizard guy.
Russ picks up the contract. We said 6. You signed it.
But
It's
we
got you
also,
there.
in the parentheses, it says I put if there's someone that I could face like him.
And that'll be my one veto that I do, is if you approach him, and then I'll have to waste my veto.
Fine.
Listen, we can discuss more if we get to the higher numbers and they seem like they want to pop off.
Okay.
But not like 2 or 3.
Right.
I can do that many easy peasy.
No, they'll 2 or 3. That's what you did both tonight. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Think we have a deal.
Very nice. And he sets the contract back down.
Kyle, you have to sign it too.
All right.
That
I'll
you were
scroll
here,
way
you
down.
know? So it's not just
Okay. Hey guys, tell me what it looks like when you two sign your
it's
names.
awful.
I am so excited for this. Tell me about
Yes.
scribbly
Just a
scribble.
fisted hold of the pen.
Yes.
Nix never
Whoosh.
took notes when she was learning how to herbalist.
She might have tried and then realized they got ruined immediately by water.
That's true.
It was like, oh well.
Tragic.
Mine's like an attempt to cursive, but it's just scribble.
Yeah, it's just kind of a scribble across the page.
That's-
You can
that's
almost
pretty
see where
good.
the L maybe is. You're like, that's probably the L, the little swoop that go up. But
It's also like
Um,
really slanted.
So
Russ's is the only one
fancy.
that fully follows the line perfectly.
Mm,
I took a
These
class.
kilts just
I took a
make-
class on how to do that.
just to sign your name.
I did. I took a lot of fancy little classes, and some of the stuff I never did again, but I took a lot of fancy little classes.
Weird.
I'd like to
Yeah.
take a writing class.
It honestly, first, boring, terrible, but it's when you can like rock out a signature, it's pretty cool. I don't
Mm.
write my signature often, but
It
It's nice
impresses
to have
the
one.
people it impresses.
Yeah.
some people love a good signature.
No, they're not very useful at home, but maybe.
Yeah. If you guys have time later, maybe I'll see if my writing teacher's still alive. A lot of my teachers were very old. I should check in or something. Send like a letter.
Fruit basket.
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. I'll think about that.
Then she went to the void.
Russ, come back!
Oh no.
Clap, cultists, clap if you believe.
He's back from the void.
And with that, as a contract is signed and I am back, we're going to take our break. So go ahead and get a snack and a drink, and we will be back in 10 minutes.
Thank you, Tim.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Club for episode 159 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took our 10-minute break. The party has left the party and is planning for the next day, gathering spells and ideas to smooth things over with people that they have scorned. And also looking into making contracts with their significant others, not for marriage, but for who can fight who and how many times.
I mean, once
Normal
you drop
things
a marriage
couples do.
contract, other contracts naturally follow.
Yeah, there was no
Yeah.
marriage
I don't
contract.
think I'm qualified for that one.
Yeah, Keld's like, I'm not ordained.
It's fine.
Ceremony's a
I'm also not a
paladin spell.
notary,
It's fine.
so I feel like I don't know if this is binding in any way.
It's binding.
But Roshan pawned that off on the rest of the team to ponder everything else that he needs to focus on. So far, the only option brought to the table is get Torment to date Calendula, and if that's the only option, it's the only option, baby. It's the only option. It's the only option. You
can
guys can
spitball
play
some more.
matchmaker. Yeah. So you're welcome to ponder on that. But currently, that's the front runner because it doesn't really have anybody it's running against. But Roshan has gone to their room, asked for some privacy. Roshan, what are you up to this fine evening?
I think Roshan spends at least 10-15 minutes dissociating, staring at a blank page in his open journal, and comes down from the high of the evening, staring at the same spot, and hopes for a second that his friends are coming up with something really good to give Calendula, but I think he pushes that away because he's got other things he needs to think about, like what he could use a wish for. And I think it's really hard for him to pick because there's so many things. Like he could wish Bosch to the moon, or he could wish
Still a fave.
Nyx fixed, or he could wish Jinli turned into a pillar of salt.
Also, please phrase it as wishing Nyx fixed so that I can thoroughly fuck that over. Big preach.
Great choice.
Please use that wording for the wish so I can.
Please be more specific.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just listening to the wishes wording.
Our orator, I'm sure, is good with his words.
And so I think he would at some point before settling down and trying to talk to the shadow, he would stick a fireball in the ring, and then
Nana thanks him, asks him if he needs anything, but if he doesn't, she'll exit pretty quick after.
He wouldn't need anything at that point, and I think he would start casting silence because he wants to talk to his good shadow buddy who always has good advice.
Such good advice. Honestly, true and fair. Credit where credit's due with the shadow. You sit down and begin to conjure silence in the space. And this has sort of become kind of like a doorbell to conversation. It is something that seems to get the shadow's attention, and you can feel that presence with you when you cast silence. And it's something that you're able to go, especially at a party where a million things are going on, you're able to kind of push away the feeling of being without another entity in your space. But now in this moment when you feel the shadow return, I mean, it's obvious the difference. It's obvious the difference when they are gone, however that may feel.
Yeah, and I think for Roshan, it is as stark as the difference between silence and normal hearing. Just uh, putting ear noise canceling headphones on or earplugs in, it's a lot more quieter. Your other senses may be more active, but uh, I think he feels like the shadow is almost like another sense, and when it is so close, it is loud and present. And um, after sitting quietly in companionable silence with the shadow for a minute or so, he asks, "How much do you how much do you get of what's happening over on my side? Can you hear my inner turmoil?"
And this kind of soft, like exhalation, this almost soft laugh has no sound to it, but just the vibration of this exhale. I am not sure if it is because your inner turmoil is more connected to me or if it is just in its sense palpable. I can feel when your emotions are heightened.
Well, you know that Alyona has offered me a boon, a very powerful wish, and I told her that I would tell her in the next 24 hours what should be done with it. What But there's so many things I want to do, and I wanted to save it for a time when I needed it, for when somebody's life was on the line and this was our only option to save them. But I understand that was not my choice to make, and now I have to weigh. I could bring Ave back. I could I could set Dagwood free. I could heal Nyx of this curse. But I keep coming back to my sister, and she's the reason I'm here. And I think he's quiet for, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, and just asks, "What do you think?"
Hmm. Truly, I would not trust us with such a gift. I think my answer could be tainted. I could be swayed if left to my own devices for a wish. I would wish for knowing, for knowledge, for understanding, for something so that it feels like I am not forever suspended over a chasm. And I think you will pick knowledge as well. Not in the same sense, of course, but you feel as if you're suspended over a chasm. And if you can wish for something to give you some respite, you are going to pick it.
I think he looks toward the shadow, which he doesn't often do. He usually keeps the shadow in his periphery, and he says, "Give me a second," and he will drop the silence spell in order to cast sending, and he's going to sending his sister, and he's going to ask, Rose, do you need help? Do you need me to get you out of wherever you are? And I think he wonders what to add, but he knows the last reply from her was so sparse that he couldn't he couldn't add more without it maybe getting the answer wrong. So he'll leave it at that.
Okay. And you see the shadow look at you in this moment. And you hear the static beginning to form in the response. Let us help as best we can. And the shadow rests their arms on your shoulders and are going to try to amplify your sending spell to try and break through whatever is hindering it in this moment. So you may roll your spell casting modifier. You may roll with advantage. The DC is
Okay.
very high. It's a pretty high
I
DC.
got a 13 and a 17, so a
Mm.
22.
This is the first time. This static has always been sort of almost like a mask that rests in front of your face and then is pulled away. This time it is as if it is a hood and fully encompasses your head, as if you have pushed further than you ever have into this static. And it becomes louder and louder. Ro, Sean. And the rest is buried in static. And you are pushed away. It's the most clear phrase you have ever gotten. You could tell there were more words, but they were lost.
Uh, there's probably a loud noise of frustration um, that is swallowed up again by silence. So truncated noise of frustration, and he says to the shadow, uh, as a continuous stream of thought from the noise of frustration, and says, I don't even know if she needs help. And there are people here who need help. And why aren't decisions like these easy? Why isn't a path ahead clear? Why was Ave so fucking puzzling?
And the shadow sort of relaxes into the space next to you. These questions and situations are not easy because you are doing things that are great. You are doing things that are extraordinary. You are not a farmer. You are not a bard back at an inn. You are a man with the world on his shoulders, great power at his fingertips, and more questions than answers we will ever, ever be able to answer. and I feel sick with it. And I hate it. And I'm not sure if that is just your feelings, or mine, or us both. I am sick with choice and challenge and being lost. You are sick with being lost. You should pick something that gives direction. Will bringing your sister to you bring direction? Will killing your enemies bring direction? Will saving your friend bring you direction? What sets us on the path?
I think Roshan is quiet for a good long while he reconciles what he needs to do, because I think at this point he's convinced himself that he will ask for his sister back, but then he sits there and lets the silence expire, and then sits there in the din of the tavern downstairs, and thinks about what that means and what he has to do, especially preparing, because he doesn't want her to be in town and be with her while Jinli's anywhere near, in case she needs a snack of people. So he makes a game plan for the next morning.
Okay. Is there anything else anybody wants to do tonight?
Nana does her usual horse thing with Thick Biscuit. I think if she has the spell slots, and I think that she may do, I think she's going to cast Speak with Animals and just sort of like just have a talk with Thick Biscuit. She doesn't expect Thick Biscuit to have nuanced opinions on what
No,
was
I
going
have
on.
no
at the
idea,
party.
honey. I haven't the foggiest about what to do with your problems. Not a damn thought in the world. I will take that apple, though. That is amazing.
I am delighted to share with you as many apples as you like, Thick Biscuit. And if I'm honest, if you don't mind me just talking to you, you don't have to answer all my questions. It sort of helps to just get it outside my head. Is that okay?
Yeah, so you spend time just basically unloading onto a horse
I
all
mean,
your
a little
problems.
bit.
Uh,
It's like some people journal. Nana's a horse girl.
listen, Fen just had a whole conversation with a bird. You had a
That's
conversation with
also
a horse.
true. You know?
Also, but this bird also is now has a level in rogue, so I don't know what to do about that.
Amazing. I'm
So
so
I'm
happy.
figuring that out as I go.
This bird rolled a nat 20, dude. Of course she has a level in rogue now.
She now is a leveled character. But as you leave, Nana, there is a moment where you do glance the beautiful, finely made of wood contraption, the bike that rests in y'all's cart, now kind of covered in like little bit of like just like dust from the straw. As you
In
make your
for
way
a
back
ride.
inside, you just like you look away from it. You're like, don't look at it. It was so expensive, and
It was
oh,
quite expensive. I am a
Midnight
horse girl.
ride.
I can't just take a midnight well, if Thick Biscuit is resting, maybe, but no, Nana needs rest. She's gonna go and probably bed down. I think she may just check in with Fen, make sure that he's okay. Just peek in folks' rooms. She'll leave Roshan alone.
yeah, Nana
And
does her rounds just to check on people before bed and make sure everybody is alive.
mhm.
Alive, perfect. Thank you. Makes a
Yes,
note on a
good.
checklist. All right.
Right. That's the
You
next
good?
one.
Puts duct tape on the door.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good. All right.
I'll know if you leave.
Slaps a sock
Any
on Nix and
yeah.
Russ's.
That's
No,
That's a
actually,
Sour what?
Held and
Door.
Thor's. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a better choice.
Yeah.
That's
that's
what I
a better
thought.
choice.
Yes.
You have two
That's better.
socks. Just one would go to waste.
Just like, why is there a sock on our door? And
I only
Okay.
have 2 socks.
is there anything else anybody wants to do? As I looked away from the screen when I asked, I was just like,
Nana does her good berry for the night before her stuff rolls over tomorrow. That's it.
cool.
I don't know if we
Okey-doke.
wanted to spitball
Mhm.
any more ideas for the boon, or if we're going with what
Like
we're
leans
going
out the
with.
door.
I
Hello,
mean, like,
and it's just
I-
quiet
I-
in the
I-
hall.
We
Okay.
could try to spitball some, but like it is late. Maybe we could do it over breakfast.
Y'all have fun with that. I gave you the
Breakfast
best
is
idea
for
we
talking.
have.
With your plans and your beds picked for the night, things to ponder all around. The sun begins to make its way back up into the sky. You have had a long rest.
Huzzah!
Nix, you notice throughout the night, Russ seems to struggle deeply with falling asleep.
Hmm.
You are able to get a night's rest. But here's the fun thing we're going to do. I'm going to roll a Constitution saving throw for Russ. The DC is going to be 15. If he gets a 15, we don't have too much of a problem. If we can't beat a 15, I'm going to roll more dice.
What
Good.
what number does he have to roll on the dice to get that?
He needs to roll a 10. So it's kind of a luck check.
Okay, all right, okay.
If only he were sleeping with Keld.
Hmm.
If only Keld like pokes up. I'm here to help. Here's 3. Add it to your roll.
You can sense
Yeah.
All right. Tempted to give him disadvantage, but I'll be polite and just do a straight roll. I am going to roll a d4.
Hmm.
Whatever it lands on, that is the level of exhaustion Russ is going to have.
Oh shit, buddy.
Hmm.
We gotta amend that contract ASAP.
Jesus, guys.
You'll
Boys,
never
not
tell.
to the party.
I don't even remember what a 4th level is, but we'll find out if we get there. Okay. Russ has 2 levels of exhaustion.
Oh shit. Okay, so that is like
That could be
what?
worse.
Halved movement and disadvantage on ability checks.
Why is he
Yeah.
walking so slow?
He's so slow.
He's dragging
1
his feet.
second.
He's very tired.
Exhaustion. Tell me about it.
Mm,
Mood.
Rude. Just tell me about exhaustion real fast. Okay. Ability check, speed halved. Yeah. Which, honestly, for duels, not the worst as long as an enemy doesn't catch on that he's at half speed. But
That
he
means
usually
alliance.
uses the middle-sized dueling arena, which would still not make it too much of an issue. But nonetheless, in the big arena, he might have a problem.
Hmm.
It'd suck to have to use my key points to step of the wind every round.
That would
but
suck
yeah.
a lot.
Maybe
That'd
he
be
has
bad.
no fights to worry about, but dude's tired.
Hmm.
But all of you gather together the next morning. What are we doing?
Could I actually knock on Russ and Nick's door like at the butt crack of dawn, probably rousing Russ from a very fitful, uneasy sleep
Oh, but
with a nice
you knock.
knock.
And Nix, you hear the knock, and you also hear just just from the pillow next to you, just this exasperated sound just muffled into the pillow.
I don't know why they're doing this so early either. Okay.
Russ does not get up.
No.
He stays right there for
Yeah.
now.
I'll go open it.
Nix, I
early.
Sorry, I've been up all night. I
That is normal for him, but
I've got something to tell you, but also a favor to ask.
Do we need to come? He should overhear it too.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably should get
that's
closer. He's
fine.
not getting up.
Roshan will go inside the room and close the door. He will not remark on the sad lump in the bed, but he will continue saying, I made you a promise that should the time come and you need it, I could free you from your curse. Unfortunately, that may no longer be the case, as the timeline has been moved up, and I need to use this boon sooner than later. And I know this is bad, and I feel awful telling you this, but I think someone needs my help more than you right now. And I feel horrible asking, but I know that your family, that you wanted to go visit them, and what I'm planning to do with this boon would mean that my sister comes back, and we're not safe here in town with Jinli. And I was hoping that maybe we could bring my sister back while we're visiting your family. And I don't know what she'll need, but would they be willing to help us? Would you be willing? I'm sorry for...
Just like turns away for a second. Spat the Nana said you had a wish specifically, so
Yeah, and
yeah, she can come. Makes sense why you didn't say anything after the library or when things got worse.
What? No.
I was...
Hey, hold on. Russ sits up. Why does that make sense?
You've been looking for your sister the whole time, and if you had this wish this whole time and you found out that was the only way, then it makes sense, because if I wasn't actually an option, it makes sense. We'll figure it. We'll help.
I promised.
It's fine. You can go. It's fine. Russ and I've got it.
Yeah. Angel, you can go. You heard them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fully looking like he had more to say, Roshan will turn around and leave.
Should I get back in bed?
So, what do we think about that?
I get it. Sort of. But I don't know. It's been maybe 5 days since I told them all what was happening specifically, and God, so it's not my thing to tell, but I'm gonna tell you. They didn't give me the curse, but they're the ones that set it off. So I kind of thought that maybe it'd be a little bit more important.
So disadvantage on ability checks. Interesting.
This is why I was trying not to be friends with them, and maybe I made the wrong choice.
I love you. And there is no problem that is going to be presented to me that is going to stop me, to hinder me from helping you. I am going to get up for a minute.
Okay.
I'll be right back. Russ stands up and is going to dress.
Run, Rashawn, run.
Just speed walking. Russ leaves the room. He is going to knock on Keld's door.
Oh.
Slide.
Why?
Kimono. No.
Yes. Would you go sit with Nyx?
Of course.
Thank you. He walks down the hall to Roshan's room.
Sibling check.
Is crying.
Is actively crying in the room.
Can't have that.
I think actually Roshan would have gone downstairs to get water because his mouth is real dry.
Russ is gonna use survival to find you.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be hard
Or
to
actually
figure that out.
perception. Is that what we want to use? I'm gonna be polite to this man because he gets disadvantage on everything. Yeah. Perception. And either way, he's gonna find you. It's just how
Yeah.
quickly. Wow, these disadvantage rolls are being kind of polite. Immediately like stops and like scans the hall for a second, turns and is walking downstairs to the main area.
Oh boy.
I think
You see
Roshan
Russ walk
downstairs.
in. Uh-huh.
Roshan is staring into a cup of water.
Russ comes over, pulls out a chair, and like sits directly in front of you. I want you to explain this to me like I'm a child, Roshan. I want you to explain your choice to me. I need you to.
Well, I came here to find my sister, and I've found pretty much nothing. And I know that she is hidden away somewhere, and that she was working toward the same end that we are, and that she is alive, but maybe in captivity, maybe stuck somewhere. And I have a wish, and I'd hoped to wait and use the wish when the time became dire and we had no other choice. And the wish giver bid me that I use it sooner than that. And I know Nyx's condition is getting worse and quick, and that's why it's really hard to pick something selfish over picking her.
Roshan, first off, back up just half a second. Not getting worse. What's happening to Nyx? Roshan,
She's turning to ice.
and she is going to die.
But she is currently here and walking around and probably not very happy anymore today, but I'm sorry.
You're sorry. Thank the gods for that. You make her worse. You make her sick. Hell, I get somebody to put heaps of magic on top of it to try and hold her together, and I can imagine that fucking bar on her arm squiggling. Roshan, I care about you deeply. I am not going to say your choice is wrong. I don't know the situation. I don't know. Your sister could be walking around happy as day, or she could be being tortured in a basement. And then, by golly, maybe you made the perfect fucking choice. Roshan, if she dies, I will burn your world to the ground. Is that clear?
It's warranted.
I truly hope you can save your sister. I truly hope this was the right choice. And we, you and I, are going to do everything else in our power to see Nyx how she should be, free of ice and growing old and living her life. Can we agree on that?
100%.
Good. Good. You owe me a kiss. And he stands up and he starts making his way back upstairs.
Maybe 2.
Might be at a
Uh,
few kisses now.
Roshan will wait for a door slam and then will quietly tiptoe his way back to his room because talking to anyone else feels awkward.
I need a minute to get this shit all together. But for a moment, Keld and Nyx are in the room together. Did you all want to talk, or is it just comforting? What are you guys up to?
Cry.
Maybe a bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Sibling check-in.
She would, tell him everything that just happened when Rob off
Yeah. He really is determined to find his sister, huh?
blame him for that.
Neither can I.
I don't know. It's not like we aren't going to help him do that either way, but
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
That'll give us. Just keep thinking about hags.
Yeah.
Does it bring. Do you get this just blankness when you think about it?
About her? Or
Yeah.
like, what's
her.
missing? Because like that's the time that's gone. That's just there's nothing there. It's like, it's like if you're
Yeah.
trying to remember a dream, but it's just gone. Kind of like
Right.
that.
No matter how try to like.
Like, yeah. Even
Yeah.
though I know I had one, and like, there should have been something, but for all I know, there might have not been something.
Yeah, 'cause there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Kind of. It's
Do you think-
frustrating.
Do you think we should tell them her story before we go there?
I don't see why not.
It's none of them try to make a deal with her too. That
Hmm.
it's bad enough that I do. I think I'm
At
gonna.
least we get to go home.
Yeah, that'll be good. I miss them. So that'll be good.
Me too.
It'll be a lot better party too.
Food will be better, that's for sure.
The food's not bad. It's just all, fancy for no reason. You know?
Oh yeah.
It's like
like
everything has all the decorative and you have to
like you
take
want
the
smoke
I-
and a drink.
yeah. It'll be good. Thank you. Just tears gone. Home's much better to think about.
Mhm.
Do you want to come? We have to go shopping for Riley's birthday present. Do you want to come with us?
I like getting gifts.
I don't have much money, so I might only be able to get her like a couple pieces of candy, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll love it. Who doesn't like candy?
Right. It's a lot better. Corey just gave her like a bracelet. I don't know why she thought that this little kid would want a bracelet.
Mm.
She doesn't want it. She wanted
Probably
the
just
cake.
doesn't know kids well. Huh?
Gosh. Doesn't make sense.
Maybe if the bracelet was cake, but
See, that would be a pretty cool present. You give her some piece of jewelry that looks like jewelry, but
just
it's actually dessert. Well, too late for that. But would have been good.
Russ comes back into the room. Sorry about that. I'm back.
Cal's gonna go shopping with us for Riley's present.
All right, we got to get Riley's present.
Mm.
I honestly don't know what to get her. I don't know if I've ever really bought a gift for a child. At least it's been a while.
Russ, if you were a child, would you rather have a bracelet or candy?
See, I'm a really bad person to pick. See, because in my mind, you get the bracelet, you trade the bracelet, you get money. But if I was a
Mm.
normal child, I'd pick the candy.
So we should
Maybe
get.
Riley knows trade. We don't know.
But she's already got
know.
a bracelet to do
That's
that
true.
with.
So we don't have to get her a bracelet. We can get her something fun or more candy. There is a candy shop. So
Ah. It's really nice. So I got all that there with one time.
is there anything you guys needed to do before we go?
Just curious, like how much of any of that might have been like audible from.
None of it. Not a dash of it.
Not a diddly
Not
I
a-
mean, you
not
might
a
have heard
lick of
them
it.
crying, but
None of that audible to anybody else.
I gotta get the. Actually, Keld, would you get Aang's armor out of the bag for me so I don't have to go in that room?
Okay, I'll go find the armor.
Thank you.
You go to Roshan's room where Roshan is now. Roshan's like, how do they keep finding me?
You're in the same room.
It doesn't matter where I go. The tavern I'm staying in, the room I'm sleeping in.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, but- Mhm.
he'll answer the door and see that it's Geld and just like blush really hard and sit down and be awkward.
Can I get Ing's armor?
Yeah, whatever you need. And we'll produce the bag of holding.
Nyx has this idea that she's gonna fight. So I'll make sure she's prepared.
Who's she gonna fight?
I'm not sure. Digging this bag.
Well, I wish there was more I could do to help prep for her. But let me know if there's anything I can do.
All right. I'll return with the armor.
And Feld walks out, armor in hand, closes the door behind him, and brings it to you, Nyx.
Great. Okay, put that with yours. Next to Russell's.
Right. I feel
So
like
don't
we should
forget.
get it some gold accent pieces, but there is no time to do that.
Right. Maybe we'll find some paint while we're out.
Ooh, that's fun. Yeah.
And just coat the whole thing in gold paint.
See, that's very fun, and we should definitely be looking
Yeah.
for gold paint. He kisses you on the temple. I have to find my jacket. And you watch him kind of sluggishly walk across the room at half speed.
Buddy.
Just kind of shuffling.
He did wake us up really early.
You're like, that's what it is. It's
That's
early.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
So the three of you are just heading out now because focusing on things is great. Focusing on other things, even better.
Avoiding other teammates. Good.
But the other teammates, you wake, the sound of birds, the sun is shining through the windows.
I mean, not for nothing. I do think that if Nana like goes kind of like doing her peeking around and sees, Keld, Nyx, and Russ are already off for the day. I think maybe she'd like poke her nose in with probably with Fen and with Roshan to see if they wanted, any coffee from downstairs or.
Well, Fen went out for breakfast. Fen is sitting down in the common area, wondering where the hell everybody else is.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Checking it.
don't we
It's
normally
weird.
meet for breakfast? What the hell is this?
Yeah,
And it's like,
normally,
am I
don't know,
normally
man.
first?
It's like, I
Trying to,
thought
like,
Kel
remember. He's
made
like-
us food. What?
Is Jenny
He's
there?
like, I guess I'll eat tavern food.
Yeah.
Jenny uncanny dodges and rolls into space evasion. She's now 5th level rogue.
She's so
She's climbing.
oh boy.
But she's just like pecking at food on the plate and like hopping around. So, Nana, go ahead, and I can only assume this is where this is heading. Go ahead and roll me insight. Roshan, I'd love some deception to be a normal man who's not going through shit, unless you want to tell people you're going through shit. Take that as a no. What do we got? Nana, what do we got?
15.
Roshan got a nat 1.
Wow.
The
Roshan,
dice
what does
sure
Nana
do
see with a
tell
nat 1?
stories sometimes.
So I think Roshan is in his room, and he's setting up his enchanting implements to do a little bit more enchanting before the third day of the party, and his cheeks are red, and I think he looks more flustered and not like excited hooray, but more like excited with dread.
Anxious.
Yes.
Okay. Nana walks in on that and she's like, Ro, you doing all right?
Define all right.
Nana
I'm
will
doing
shut the door
fine.
and
Hmm.
go and have a seat across from Roshan. No, if he's sitting on the bed or if he's sitting in a chair, she'll take a seat across from him.
Yeah, I think he's walking around organizing things.
Okay.
Too much nervous energy to sit down.
Got it. So she'll just take a seat on the bed. I'm assuming that's center of mass for the room.
Yeah.
And she'll just sit in the middle of his bumblebee fluttering. Okay, so, well, I suppose okay usually means, sound of mind, sound of body, comfortable with where one is in one's present situation. Do you want me to elaborate? Do you want me to go on?
I think I might have. I don't know what I did, but I don't think Nyx is very happy with me.
Okay, so if you don't know what it is you did, what did you do?
No, I know what he did. It's I broke a promise to her. I promised that I would be able to get her out of her curse if I needed to, but now I can't because I'm going to wish my sister back. And then at the same time as I told her that I wouldn't be using the wish on her, I told her or asked her if my sister could come visit her family. Like, I feel like a jackass.
I'm sorry, Ro. Yeah, you acted like a jackass. Ro, I'm surprised at you. I mean, it's one thing to say, yeah, I'm sorry, I have to go back on this promise. I know it's very important. I understand that we made it in good faith. I feel bad to go back on it. But then to ask her for a favor, for her to shelter your sister, I understand you're very
Yeah,
worried
it's
for her, Ro.
almost
I
like
know.
I'm reliving it.
I understand that you're torn in a lot of directions, Ro. I get it. I do. I feel the same way. But you can't keep shouldering all this by yourself. Okay? I found out yesterday you had a wish in your back pocket, Ro. And All right, I understand that's a very powerful thing, and that requires a lot of very careful consideration for how to use it well. But Ro, we've been asking, we've been begging for you to let us help you, for you to allow us to talk things through with you. We could have talked this out. How long ago did you get this wish?
When we helped Aliona.
So, several towns back.
And I did ask for help. Where are we on the Calendula thing?
We figured the only best thing would be to convince Torment to have a date with Calendula.
I think Roshan just flutters his eyes like, yes. Why hadn't
The
I thought of
easiest
something
thing in the
so
world,
brilliant?
right?
Ah,
Roshan, you asked
why
us to
hadn't
help
I?
with the single worst possible thing you could have asked us to help you with, Ro. None of us are gifted in that type of... Roshan, we could have been talking about this whole wish thing and bandying ideas about back and forth for weeks. We could have been using...
The wish thing was
Ro.
because it was meant to be a last resort. And
Okay.
now it can no longer be a last resort. I wanted to be able to save
Because-
us in a time of need, and a time of need has not presented itself. And now a time to do anything I want has, and I made a choice, and not everyone likes it, but I need to know why we're here, what we're doing, so we're not just flying blind anymore. And
Well,
I
for
hope that
one
doesn't
thing,
piss you off too.
I mean, it's... I'll figure out how I feel about it later. Ro, I will. And, maybe I'll want to talk about it with you some more later too. But I can see that you're already twisted up in quite a few knots, and I certainly cannot help by adding more. I'm... Ro, I want to be able to keep my promise to you in good faith that I won't leave you alone, that I won't leave you behind. And it's a little bit hard to feel a little left behind in turn. And I understand, Ro, this is unprecedented. This is a very different level of power from anything that any of us have had access to before. And that is a potent thing to wield. That is a very potent source of power. But Roshan, you've got the luxury of a choice. And your choices are yours. I've always been firm on that. But I really, really implore you to look at this from Nyx's point of view.
I fully understand her point of view.
Do you?
She probably
Are you
hates
sure?
me.
Well, Ro, I don't think necessarily she hates you. I think she feels hurt. I think
Yeah,
that
because I broke a promise to her and she's dying.
on top of which you then also asked her for a favor, yes. But all that to say, Ro, decide what you will. Do what you wish. Wish for whatever you think is best. I just want to encourage you as your friend. Consider what your choices do to your friends, Ro. Because your friends can help you when you're feeling worse, when you're powerless, when you're helpless, when you're alone. Your friends can help. And if you chase them away by making them feel left behind, then they may not be able to be there to help you. And I don't want to see that for you, Ro. I care about you too much.
Well, I'm sorry I've let you down.
Something that the captain of the guard liked to say back home in Galunda that stuck with me. Mistakes happen naturally. The real failure is if we stay stuck in them, in our failures, and fail to move forward and to learn. So, Ro, you're smart. Smarter than I'll ever be. I know that you'll choose what is best. I have faith in that. Just temper that big brain of yours with the heart that I know is there. Okay?
I think Roshan will go back to arranging things to prepare for enchanting and kind of just let that linger.
You want any coffee? Probably want something to drink.
I've already had some this morning. It's been a long morning.
All right. Well, if you need me, you can reach me. And thank you again for the fireball in the ring. I'll tip you a wink when I use it tonight.
Don't fireball yourself.
I'll do my best. Take care, Ro.
Leaves Roshan. And then there's Fen eating breakfast with a bird, having a pretty okay time, just like, wow, everybody's really sleeping in today. Wild. As he eats at some toast, and Jenny sort of hops around very unhygienically on his plate. But at this point, who cares? Jenny's the MVP. As she hops around. Roshan, you watch as a young woman, scarf like pulled up around her face, hood, like multiple jackets, like it's freezing outside, but carrying like a messenger bag, kind of shuffles into the space and over to the bar and begins to pull things out and set them on and like push them over to the barkeep. Here are your things for the day. See you tomorrow. And she turns and gives you like a wave. And when she turns to look at you, she bumps into a chair and it rustles the bag and a couple things fall out. I'm sorry. Clumsy. And she picks things up, leaves one letter on the ground, and keeps walking. Very pointedly, like seems to leave this letter on the ground.
Whoopsie
It's
poopsie.
there in plain sight.
Better
But
pick it
she
up.
smiles at you and leaves.
Did you say that was Fen and Nana that saw that?
No, just Fen.
Oh, I thought you said Ro.
No. Roshan's
No.
being a sad little man in his room.
He's not
Ro's the only
counting
one
a
that's received
tavern.
letters here before, so I figured I thought
It's
that.
you're like, is he gonna get another letter? This guy just gets letters.
You just get so many
Nope,
letters.
that's you, Fen. This woman
Um,
drops a letter in front of you. gives you kind of like a smile, like oops, and then leaves.
Whoopsie poopsie.
Fen will pick up the letter discreetly and open it up and see what it contains.
Go ahead and just give me stealth for the funsies.
All right.
Let's rogue in this bitch, guys. Let's do some roguing.
22.
The barkeep with his passive 9 or whatever he has is probably not aware. Okie doke. You pick up this letter, and are you going to kind of just like discreetly open it and look at it right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No reason.
It's not weird to look at letters.
Yeah.
That's not against the law. This
The
isn't
cops
illegal.
can't stop you.
You can't try to arrest me. You won't. My girlfriend's very pretty and popular and powerful. You can't arrest me.
You can't arrest
You
me.
open the letter, and it is in like beautiful but like very small handwriting, concise, neat. And there is a gentle, familiar smell that comes from the paper. You know that this is from Corrine, though you don't see her name anywhere on it. But when you open the letter, you can see just the edge of something else still in the envelope. So you have the letter and then something else in it. As you look to the letter, I have left you something to wear to the party. Wear them under your sleeve. They're a secret. We'll talk about it later. Tell no one. Destroy this letter.
All right. Fen will take a glance around and see if Nana's making her way downstairs yet or anything like that, and see what else is in the envelope if he feels he's not being watched.
How
What are the
about
odds?
we roll initiative? Nana versus Fen. Give me initiatives.
All right.
As a 22.
21.
Wow. Cutting it close. But Fen, you're like, I have time. I have a moment to myself. And you quickly, casually reach into the envelope to take a glance at the second item. And it's another sheet of paper, but it's clear, but it moves like paper. But you can see something familiar on it. 3 sort of like hexagons. It is the same thing that you put upon your wrist to be able to enter the party. They are little stickers that had been placed on your skin. She's asking you to put these on and bring them in and keep it quiet.
Fen's gonna fold up the letter with the item inside of it in his pocket, and he's gonna walk over. He's gonna fold up the envelope with the item inside in his pocket. Walk over to the hearth and take it. He's gonna like take one last breathe of like the scent off of the perfume of the
Mhm.
letter, and then he's gonna throw the letter in the fire and just kind of like warm his hands on the fire.
Okay. And Nana, at this moment, you step down into the main area.
Damn it!
Fen warming his hands on the fire.
Fine.
Just
Yep, it's
normal
fine.
people behavior.
I'm fine.
A shame and a pity. Though, what did you roll for your? So you can either use your other deception roll, or you can give me a new deception roll, or not deception.
I
Stealth.
rolled stealth.
Yeah.
I
So
think
if you
I think
remember,
I
but
think
you
that
can
was a
roll
22
again.
as well.
Yeah. Would you like to keep the
Yeah.
22, or would you like to try and roll again to get something
I
different?
I got an 8 on the die, so I'm gonna roll again because I think I can get higher than 8.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, that's a 19 on the die, so that would make it a 33.
I'm not going to make Nana roll against a 33.
I do have plus 12 to perception.
Go ahead, yeah, you could.
I have
Touch it.
expertise.
You
So you
need a nat 20,
No, you'd need a nat 20.
and that would still be too low.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
that's true.
Never mind.
If you roll a nat 20 right now, you might get something, but not the big
Well-
picture. So let's see if we can get a nat 20, boys. If Jenny could do it, anyone could do it.
I mean, Nana's managed
That's
it
true.
on occasion. If consistently, no.
I mean, nobody's done like a called nat 20 in this game, which
No.
maybe one day. Fingies crossed.
It's a
Okay. Nana, you just enter into the space. Fenn's warming his
cool,
hands.
fine.
Nothing weird.
Everything's normal. Nothing weird here. And besides, I'm very concerned about Roshan
Yeah,
upstairs. Nothing-
there's certainly other things on the mind compared to Fenn just being normal in the inn.
Yeah, so Nana kind of like walks over towards Fen and is maybe looking a little bit. I don't know if shell shocked is the right word, but like she looks like she's got a lot on her mind.
You want some coffee?
Yeah. Yeah,
You
I haven't
look-
had any yet.
You look upset.
Mm,
Come on, let's sit down. Get you some coffee.
okay.
Bacon?
Yeah, thanks. Oh.
You sleep poorly?
No, I slept fine. I don't know. I don't know how much of this I can talk about. It's not my thing. It's not my thing to share. So,
Well, it's me. You can
no,
always
I
share with me.
understand. I know, Fen. I'm just this is personal business between friends of ours. So, respecting friends of ours. I don't know. I'm worried one of them has made maybe I don't know a choice I would find not ideal.
Roshan's hat is kind of ridiculous. I didn't want to say anything. I guess it could be useful though. It seems like he could cast a lot of spells under there, and people couldn't see him casting them. But other than that, yeah, it's just a plainly ridiculous thing to wear. I held my tongue though because it doesn't seem like the thing you would say to a friend.
You read that right. I think you read that right. I think Roshan takes an awful lot of pride in that hat. So, wouldn't be the best thing I'd think to say to him. I'm sorry. I don't know.
What's the matter?
I don't feel like I'm in any position where I can advise. I feel like I'm far enough outside of the situation that it's not. But I feel like maybe if I keep myself separate from the situation, then I'm making things worse for the friend who was impacted by this decision. So I don't want to pick sides between my friends, Fen.
You're going to have to tell me, or I'm not going to be able to offer any amount of solace or advice to you whatsoever.
I know. It's okay. After tonight, okay? We've got an awful lot of preparation to go on for tonight's party. I'm thinking I might need to step up my game a little bit and add something onto my outfit. You've been really knocking it out of the park the last couple of nights, and I'm gonna wind up real sad looking if I don't have anything to show for tonight. A little different.
Well,
Just
you've
slapped
won a
some mud
fight.
on last night, so
You've won a fight, so there's that. You've got that over me. Got that over everyone but Keldon Russ as well. Is it time to wake them up?
I think I stopped by the room. Keldon, Nix, and Russ are out. I think they might be shopping or something, picking up stuff. Rose doing some enchanting preparation in his room. He really needs to focus at the moment, so I'm trying to give him space.
All right. Are you sure you don't want to just have out with it?
After tonight. After tonight, okay?
All right.
I really want to try and get my head on straight. I really want to get my preparation in, and I really want to make sure that I'm ready in case I get challenged. So can you help me do that?
Yeah, no problem. I assume you're holding on to my ring.
If you don't mind me using it, I did ask Roshan to pop a fireball in there. Thought that given
No, not the not the spell storage. The ring of
oh
limited
the other
protection.
one. No, that's right. I mean,
I think if you
unless
think
you're
there's a
planning
chance that
to.
you'll fight, I don't intend to fight anyone, but if I do, we'll figure something out.
Okay, yeah.
A fireball. You're gonna burn your hair off.
I'm gonna try not to, but I suppose it'll be a striking look if I go for it, huh?
Well,
Maybe I'll call it Gelveg Mark II.
interesting choice. I thought Roshan was the one that wanted to talk about Calendula and whatever we're supposed to do for that person for whatever reason.
Well, it's primarily because we wronged them legally, and they could make things very rough for us legally, and rightfully so, if we do not. So,
They were aiding a criminal. We took one piece of paper, and I can't control what wildlife does.
Fen,
I wonder if they've got
I'm-
a second.
it's always steadying talking to you, Fen.
I'm just ready to get back out into the woods, honestly.
Yeah,
Just need a
I
hike.
could do with a real long hike in the woods.
I haven't seen a tree in days.
I know. Feels wrong. I mean, except for the manicured ones and the ones with the naked people draped all over them.
Go touch grass.
Rangers
Hey,
might have to
take
go
a
touch
hike.
grass.
How about you guys go take a hike? Yeah.
Mental health hike.
But you two get back more into the swing of things, pushing something to later. You deciding, not my story to tell, though it may be my monkeys and my circus. It's not my story.
No, it
Um,
isn't. And also, Nana has things that she feels about saying things in front of Fen that have nothing to do with the shit that she didn't see this morning. So,
and with plans needing to be made, items needing to be acquired, and duels to prepare for, possibly, that is where we are going to stop for tonight. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. If you want to get more of that story, you can head over to youtube.com/the Dice Cult and catch up on all episodes of On the Backs of Gods, other D&D games, one-shots, Vampire the Masquerade. We just did a one-shot last week. If you're interested and want to go check that out. If you want to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to keep up with all of us, we are the Dice Cult on Instagram and Twitter. If you follow the link in the chat, you can get some beautiful dice that understand story, and that some people should get 22s and some people should get 21s. That's how story works. It's just being 1 point behind somebody else to keep things moving and secret. Thank you all again. We appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. We'll be here same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
thanks for
Good
joining us,
night.
Cultists.